Speaking of generational wealth and things like that, I got a question.
All right.
We hear a lot of how do you call it? Like, how come a lot of non-black people could come to America and start their own businesses and have generational wealth that they could pass down to our family? And some of us were born in the country, and even some of us did come over, and we're not able to sustain the businesses that we've had or things like that. I know things happen, but why is it that we can't keep our businesses and other people could put their businesses in our neighborhood and continue to succeed?
Oh wow. So you went there.
That's a good
You
question,
went
man.
there.
It's real talk, man.
It is real talk. You went there, bro. And this is a question that a lot of people that might not like hearing. Well, the answer um for me, right? And I wasn't born here. I came here. We had to start from scratch, me and my family. You know what I mean? And I used to look at the people that were here. They're born here with a lot of envy because
Hmm.
they were born with an opportunity, right?
Resources.
Yes, absolutely. Back in the day, right? We were hard done by, all right, as a people. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the positives. Your positives in present day time outweigh, a lot of what I don't want to say outweigh, but you got to look at the positives, bro. Like you're born with opportunity that other blacks that weren't born here, you, we wish we had it. And I come here and I see these guys, they're still busy just focusing on the negative. Yes, there are things happening that need to improve in our nation. Absolutely. But you got to focus on what is within your power to change, bro. Like it is within your power to get up, go to school, educate yourself. Whether you have to have a bill, owe the bank, it's going to pay for itself. Knowledge, you don't put a price on knowledge. You can't put a price on knowledge because once you know something, they can't take that from you. You get what
So
I'm saying?
I get you, Cecil, but I gotta disagree with you a little bit on that, and I'll
Yes.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because I actually had the same mindset when I came here. I
Uh
was
huh.
like, yo, I'm like, at that time I didn't even have my papers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
an immigrant, and these guys, they're rocking their Jordans, they're rocking this, they're having everything, and I'm like, yo, like I
Or
can't even, I can't get nothing going for me, and then I had college, and I'm like, and I'm striving in school, and I'm all of a sudden I'm in a place where I'm good, and I'm like, I'm looking back, and I'm like, these guys looked at it like they didn't make one step forward.
Hmm.
Like they stood in the same place. Like they looked at graduating high school like it was an accomplishment. Meanwhile, it wasn't until I got my MBA that I even really like celebrated, right? So I was looking at it like, why was it different for me than it was for them?
Hmm.
And I realized it was all about the mindset, a person's mindset.
Hmm.
And the mindset that I got when I was in Jamaica was a lot different than the mindset that they had here.
Hmm.
And then I started remembering examples of being in class where the teacher would yell at them saying, "You ain't shit. You ain't gonna be nothing."
Hmm.
And that's when I realized that they've been going through this where they've been beaten down for
Hmm.
like time and time again, where they're told that they won't be shit. Whereas in Jamaica, my grandfather, my teachers, everyone in my community,
They
they
pushed you.
used to just be like, yo, you can do whatever the hell you
Sky.
want to
They
do.
taught you that the sky is the limit.
And I was like, I carried that with me from there all the way up here. So
Hmm.
when I came up here, even though I was starting from rock bottom, it
Hmm.
was so much easier for me to rise up. Whereas when somebody's beating you down from the time you were probably, 6 years old in school,
Hmm.
just because you were just joking around with your friends, and the teacher would just snap at you. And here's a stark comparison. I mean, here's a thing. There's a here's the thing about school in America. I think the rate is, and don't quote me on it, but it's about 90% white women,
Yeah.
percent of teachers that teach black kids.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
when you think about it, that's the reason why they always say you need male,
To teach.
black male, or even just male in general,
Yeah.
Hmm.
teaching kids because they'll be more prone to listen to a male or, especially a black male, especially black kids with a black male. Even if it was a black woman, they'll be more prone to listen to them or relate to them because those they'll
They
be able to say
understand.
they won't beat them down as much as
Yeah.
another person from a different ethnicity, and they'll be able to relate to them a lot more. And there was actually this one time
Yeah.
that I was actually in a it was actually like a 6 hour class where you know
Hmm.
that I was doing. It was just to get like some discount or something.
Hmm.
And the instructor, unrelated, she just loved to talk. And she was a teacher on this, that was her full-time job. She only does the DMV thing on the side.
Uh-huh.
And she was basically telling me about how this one child in the city was acting out, and she had to call the cops. And the cop came, and it was a black woman, and the woman was there talking to the kid and the kid was basically saying, "Oh, what's the point of me, going to school? I'm not going to amount to anything and all of that."
Hmm.
And the cop spoke to the kid and said, "Look at where I turned out, and I started where you were, right?"
Hmm.
And one of the things that really got me pissed off about it was the white lady was there basically saying that, "Oh, she understood where the cop was coming from, and the cop really, let the kid know how things were going." But in my head, the whole time I was thinking, why the hell is a 6 or 7 year old talking like that? Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is not where the cop ended up. The problem is where the cop had to start or where that kid is starting.
Yeah.
It started from the ground, the roots up. The cop may have ended where the female cop ended up where she ended up, which is
Yeah.
good, but not a lot of people ended up in that situation. A lot of them
So.
ended up going through life in a lot harder situations. So one of the things that I actually
Hmm.
realizes a lot of the groups that come to America, especially when they come from Africa, believe it or not, Nigerian are the highest paid blacks in America.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're the highest paid. I think their median income is over 100,000. So I think the drive that we have coming from other countries, we know what it's like back there,
To
and
not
we don't
have.
want to go, and we don't want to go back there,
Yeah. But look,
right? But
right?
we also have a mindset to say, let's push ourselves. So
That's what I'm gonna tackle. You just said it. You hit the nail right on the head, right? So I understand where you're coming from. These people have been. It's mental slavery, bro. Like someone is telling you you're something, and you're accepting it. You're accepting it, but you have to bring yourself to the point mentally, bro, where you can say, first of all, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. You have your family who have come before you, who you've seen this repetitive thing occurring in their lives. This been happening to them. You have to come to a point where you say, okay, I'm gonna push myself no matter what. Listen, we both came here from Jamaica, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gene, you came here from Haiti. Okay? We know what it's like to not have. All right. And when I say we started from bottom, we started from ground up, bro. My
Yeah.
family, most of my family's not here. So I not only came here, yes, we had a drive, but we had to come in that situation with less. We're starting less than what the people that were born here are starting with. And then on top of that, we have to deal with the same things that they had to deal with.
System.
Exactly. So, as you said, the mindset changes everything. You have to have a mindset that no matter what, I'm going to get it. And the problem that we have in our community is that not enough of us have that mindset that I'm going to get it regardless.
A lot of
You
us
think I
are.
haven't been in school
Oh,
where teachers have told me, you'll never be. I've had it. I've had math teachers. Literally, I've come in for class, bro. Ramapo High School. Don't even take the exam because it's not going to benefit you. You get what I'm saying? And I'm going through everyone goes through what they go through as an adolescent. as an adolescent, excuse me. You know what I mean? We all go through it. When you're in those teenage years, you're trying to figure yourself out, you're trying to see where you're headed. You know what I mean? And rather than, to put me under her wing, the first thing that she saw to say to me is something negative. That stayed with me my entire life. And till this day, I took that and it drives me, bro. Because like you have to have the mindset, bro. You have to want it that bad. You have to look at the things around you and want to change it. You have to have that hunger for success. And there's a reason it's called self-esteem. It's something that you have to mentally sit there and have a conversation with yourself and build upon. Like, you can't always depend on people. What are you going to do if no one in your life ever tells you you're going to amount to something? What do you do? Because there are people like that. There are people that are born in our community and their parents died at a young age, so they never had someone sitting there holding their hand like, listen, you're going to be something. And they push through it and make it through. So that's proof that your mindset alone can change the situation. And that's what I'm getting at.
So how do we retrain the mind? How do we get people to change their mindset?
You retrain the mind by first having that you have that real conversation with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you educate yourself. But the key to all of this, right? The key is to start teaching the younger ones. Start teaching them from young. You know what I mean? As you said, the positivity is amazing, but we have to instill these things. Like I teach it to my son. I could just play around with him and we're playing and we're play fighting. I'm like, you won, you're a champion. Just hearing that, you get what I'm saying? Like, we have to start changing those things, the elders. We got to start setting a foundation for the younger ones coming behind us to help drive them forward. We have to teach them that. Unfortunately, it's something that has to be taught.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It has to be taught because you're born innocent. You come out here, you didn't ask to be born. You're born innocent. And children, they just love everyone. And it's like the more you beat on them, they're going to start, you're going to start seeing those fruits. You're giving the children bad fruit. We have to start giving them good fruit. It's when you want to see a change doesn't happen right away. It progresses. And you see the change in the future as time goes. So they're the future. We have to start giving them good fruit. You know what I mean? I think that's where we got to start because it's not over for you at this age, but it's harder the older you get. You get what I'm saying? It's harder to break those habits the older you get.
Yeah, I think there's generational curses that need to be broken.
They need to be broken. They absolutely need to be broken. They're mental chains. You know what I mean? You can't sit here and focus on the negative all the time. You got to look for the positives. If no one gives them to you, you find a positive. You find a positive. You sit there and you look for the number one thing is that you woke up this morning and you're breathing. The number two thing is that you're in your right mind. You know what I mean? If you never had anything positive in your life, for those who are listening, the fact that you woke up is one positive. Start adding to that. And then you go from there. Because I know what it's like, bro. We started from ground up. You know what I mean? I remember me, bro, I met Gene when we were younger. And we were boys before he could speak English. That's to show you, like, when your kids they're just born with innocence, bro. And he had no English, bro. And we had to start from the bottom. And I don't want to throw that out there and say we started from a lesser position than those who were born here. But you got to take it into consideration that we face certain things that they will never have to face. You know what I mean? Certain things were always available to them. Government help and things of that we had to do it on our own. Imagine you paying for papers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't work and you got to pay to get papers.
Yeah.
How are you going to pay for, like, bro, like, we weathered the storm.
Yeah.
Like, you got to outlast the season, bro. Life comes in seasons. Nothing lasts forever. The only thing certain is death. But your job is to outlast the season. You know what I mean? I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry, but like
I
I
just
feel
feel,
strongly
bro.
about it. Your job is to weather the season, bro. You
Yeah,
outlast the season because once it changes, you reap the benefits.
I
You reap
think
the
the
benefits.
goal is to retrain the mind, you know.
A hundred percent. 100%. You retrain the mind, bro. You
Yeah,
have
fuck
to.
the black box, retrain the mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Funny
I see what you did there.
sneak peek. Uh, no, I think one way that we can retrain our mind is to accept that it's to accept where we are,
Yeah,
accept the problem, like not really accept it, but like what's the word? Acknowledge, acknowledge that you in a situation, and then once you acknowledge, all right, I'm in this situation, I'm in a negative mindset, my
mhm,
life is not in the right way, whatever the case is going. You change, you acknowledge it, and then you move on from it. A lot of us we acknowledge it, and then we want to play. All right, maybe if I do this, no, don't keep talking to yourself. If you want to talk to somebody, seek a therapist, seek friends, family, somebody who could talk you out of your certain mindset. You know, talking to yourself, you're always gonna add little ideas. Your mind plays tricks on you, bro. Your eyes play tricks on you, like so you can't always trust yourself. You know, when you're in the negative light, in the positive light, you could trust yourself better because now your mind is telling you more things that are beneficial to you.
yeah,
More in the midst of chaos, that's how you find yourself.
yeah,
When your world is going upside down, you don't even know what's going on. That's how you find yourself in the midst of chaos. So that's one way I think we could change the mindset.
yeah,
But like, I just want to touch on what y'all was saying. Like growing up in a different country, it gave us that inventive mindset. Like we were able to create things with wood, with trees, with whatever carton box I was around us. I remember I built a little car with the little carton box with the wheels on it and things like that. And we actually made a big kite with just sticks and strings. And we made these games with the bottle cap. We flatten it up. You put two holes in it and put a string, and then you twist and turn it. And then we have these little games. I forgot the names of it because we don't play these things anymore.
yeah,
Like you're saying over here, you have so many resources to where you can do whatever you want to do. But you rather go on social media and flex and spend money so
yeah,
others could like you going broke trying to act rich while people are spending broke still being rich,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And it's like that mindset is how could you have the same 24 hours, the same resources as everybody else, but you still in the same predicament, still in the same situation. And you letting other people jump over you, keep hurdling you, and they're getting to the bag, and you claiming, yeah, I'm getting to the bag. Yeah, you only got the bag one time. They're getting the bag over time. I'd rather get the bag over time, like until death or until, I could pass it on to the kids.
yep,
Getting one bag is not enough. But a lot of people have been living in that individual mindset. That's what's wrong with the black community. It's always me, I. It's never like as a group. All white people look out for all white people. All Asian people look out for all Asian people. All Mexicans look out for Mexicans. Look how they get the jobs and things like that. All other
yeah,
groups of all other groups in the world look out for other people. Us black people, sometimes we just look out for ourselves. Oh, it's beneficial to us. Moving down here, like living in Florida, like I've noticed a lot of differences. Like certain groups, like I'm around all types of groups, but for some reason, like white people are nicer to me, or like they're just just nice and hello, hey, how you doing? Just waving friendly. But when you see another black person, it's like, damn, why she mean mugging me like that?
your defense is
You know?
already up.
Yeah,
You
it's like their defenses are up, but if
yeah,
we're both black, we should automatically learn to connect and click and relate on, being down by the system or down by circumstances.
yeah,
I shouldn't have to rely on another group or race to help me out when I should be relying on my own race. And it's like, damn, I thought we was really together as a community. And the more it's like living down here, it's kind of like opening my eyes. It's like other groups are nicer to me as a black person than my own people who are. So it's like that's why I say like help everybody in need, anybody who you choose to help, not to really gain anything out of it, just do it because you want to do it. Don't
Yep.
always be out here looking to gain or take advantage of other people or things that's going on in life, because certain things will come back to you and you could get taken advantage of, or it could trickle down to the kids getting taken advantage of.